Papoose and Remy Ma just threw a whole wrench in the black love narrative proof. They were out here putting each other on blast all over social media. Remy called Papoose dusty and accused him of being a cloud chaser. Papoose clapped back and labeled Remy a manipulator and unfaithful. Baby, if that ain't your cue from the universe, run sis run. These two are spiraling. Clarissa Shields is a world-class champ. She's single, no kids, and now she's entertaining Papoose, who's still legally tied down with all this extra drama crashing out over his wife Remy, and Remy crashing right along with him. She pretends she is unfazed, but nah, she's pressed.
You're a piece of shit, Papoose. You really are. You have turned into a piece of shit. The gambling, the failures that you had in your career or whatever that didn't pan out how you wanted to, has turned you into somebody else.
You're very cruel to people because you're a narcissist. She's the type of person who will say something to you, and 10 to 5 minutes later she'll say, I didn't say that. Straight bipolar. Straight bipolar. Was diagnosed with it. You're not Cardi B, man. Let's keep it a buck. This is how phony you is.
I'm just saying Clarissa needs to backpedal real quick for real. Cause the spark that lit this whole messy bonfire between Remy and Papoose came after Clarissa's interview on The Breakfast Club. She got asked about her situation with Papoose and kept it cute in my opinion. Yeah, her and Remy had some internet beef last year when Remy thought her camp dropped a shady article and started dragging both her and Papoose online. But Clarissa didn't even say anything wild in that interview. Should she have unpacked it? Maybe not, but what she said did not warrant Ray's fiery response. Still, I do think some of what Remy was saying Clarissa might want to clock it.
Say it again.
You said earlier there's some things Pap need to handle. I don't know.
In his personal life.
Oh,
yeah, it's elephant in the room. Like,
yeah.
but that takes time, and like I said, that's not my place to speak on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any ill will toward any women, and I don't have any ill will toward her.
Nobody shouldn't have any ill will towards me because I ain't do nothing to nobody. I look at it now and I feel sorry for old girl. Like, I feel sorry for her. I told Papoose. I told them, why don't you tell this stuff? Why don't you tell your current come up? Because that's what it is. Tell your current come up. Don't say nothing about me. You are a world champion. You are accomplished. You have made it from out the ghetto, from the slums, from the depths of Flint, Michigan. You don't got no kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. But why are you attaching yourself to this 47-year-old man that doesn't have anything going, has no career, no job, no income, except for the income that he's claiming off of your percentage because he's your manager? Got you out here talking, looking crazy. He's the one that don't want to sign, don't want to get his stuff out of his ex house. Doesn't be there for his child that he begged for, but telling you he wants another one. Let me guess. He's telling you he want a son, right? He has a son. He has a son. He just doesn't like his son's preference, so he acts like he doesn't have a son. He has a son. We have a son. What are we talking about? I literally told my friends, they was like, yo, you think he ever gonna leave? I was like, when he finds a replacement, when he finds someone who we think he can have doing all the shit that I was doing, then he'll leave. Girl, man, don't nobody fall in love faster than somebody with nowhere to stay. I don't even know who he is today. Let me rephrase that. Because the person that I married in 2008, that's not who this is now. Now he's a wife.
But Clarissa is writing for her man 10 toes down and checking everything Remy said. She hopped on and claimed Remy lied about Papoose being her manager. She said Mark Taffet is her real manager and that she doesn't play when it comes to her coins, and sis also said Papoose opened doors for her and helped her secure some major bags. According to Clarissa, he got his own ride, his own crib, he's solid. So in her eyes, everything's sweet on her end but Remy's. Like, if it's all so perfect, why hasn't he lawyered up and moved forward with a divorce? Cause apparently he's been dragging his feet, but just recently hit the paperwork after Remy publicly called him out. So, yeah, I don't even know what to say. I just feel like Clarissa needs to exit stage left before she gets caught in the crossfire, cause Remy and Papoose still got hella unresolved tension and their latest online spat woo. It was a lot, but let's not act brand new. This ain't the first time Remy and Papoose had social media drama. Things really hit the fan when rumors dropped that Remy was creeping with that battle rapper Eazy The Block Captain. Remy does own a battle rap league, and Eazy signed under her. He was out here in these streets telling folks he was messing around with Papoos's wife that humiliated Papoose. Let's not forget, he held Remy down when she got locked up for allegedly clapping at her bestie over some cash. She did a 6-year bid. Papoose married her while she was inside road for her against the system, even paused his tour to support her emotionally. So now he's basically saying, I invested everything in you. And when she turned around and popped out with Eazy, folks were stunned, but turns out there was more tea, because while Remy was behind bars, Papoose was out here creeping too.
Cause guess what? I'm such a real one. I know the procedure when somebody goes to prison. I know the procedure. So it was never about infidelity. When I came home and I went straight through that phone immediately. I know what was up. When I had to fight baby mothers at mother-in-law's houses on Thanksgiving, I knew that girl wasn't lying about what she was saying was going on while I was saying. I knew she wasn't lying. I just was mad. I knew she wasn't lying, though. If we keeping it a bean, I knew she wasn't lying.
Remy came with the receipts showing Papoose was still in contact with one of his baby mamas not long after she came home. But even after all that Remy stayed, she worked it out.
She had a friend that she was away with. She had a certain individual who she was locked up with. I always heard this person's name. I ain't think nothing of it. We had like a little dinner in the basement or whatever at the crib. So this is the first time I seen homegirl outside of when they was in the penitentiary together. So I see her at the crib. Okay, she stayed for a couple days. She spent the night. She tells me, I'm going to sleep in the guest room with such and such. I said, okay, that's cool. I sleep in the room by myself. Next day, same thing. I said, damn, babe, you sleeping in there again? And at this time, I'm trying to be intimate with her. When it's time to go down, she slipped out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay. After she do that, she go back to sleep in the room with homegirl this particular night. But you want to know why she started having so much animosity towards me? Because I ended up finding out the truth, y'all. And I'm not saying this because it's a bad thing, but I'm saying this because she has done a lot of bashing towards people who live that lifestyle and talk so bad about them and say so many foul things about them that it hurted her so bad that I knew the truth. So on another day, I caught her with this individual in our house while my daughter was on the bed with them. Ended up catching it. Now, this individual is a female. So I can't do nothing to her. I don't put my hands on females. But I told her to get out. Because I feel very disrespected that took place in my house while my daughter was right there on the bed.
Now Papoose dropped his own little bomb claiming Remy cheated on him with another woman and did it in their house while their daughter was right.
Well, that's another thing I like. Oh, she was held down while she was in jail. I was who I was when I went to prison. My royalty check still came in. I gave power of attorney so that they could write checks and go on my account and do this. I was buying Christmas gifts, not just for my son, for 3 other children that I was still getting to know. Paying rent in a house that I paid rent in at least 3 different apartments that I never seen a day in my life. And you know what I came home to? Now, I was paying rent from jail. When we was on them visits and nobody had no money, we was both on a business little code together. I did stupid shit like, hey, look at my new truck. It's a push gift. I bought that. So I did do some shit to put the sauce on it. But that's what you're supposed to do when you love somebody and you're in a relationship. You make them see like they're bigger than what they are. You understand? the people at Love and Hip Hop, one executive in particular who I heard was doing this behind the scenes. How you want me talking crazy like y'all ain't see me taking 15, 20, 25,000 off of my fee to put it on that, or to put it on his fee? Why would I want my kid father to be messed up? If I got the bag or if I'm in position, I'm gonna make sure niggas, like, that's what I do. But that's what he preys on.
Now that is beyond messy to do something like that in front of your kid. That's wild. But here's the kicker: Pap still stayed. And why did he stay? Well, Remy claimed he had no real choice. Sis said she was footing all the bills and he had nowhere else to go.
First and foremost, I have a cash business. So there's numerous times where I cashed you out and you went and bought things. With my money. With my money. You want to talk about property? We bought this house together. We bought it together. I wrote one of your biggest records, man. One of your biggest hits. So you want to downplay me as an artist when I wrote one of your biggest hits? That's so sad. All of this money talk and all of this and what I don't got and what I got. Since I met her, I have written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth. I never asked for a penny. I never asked for credit. She's my wife. I didn't want anything from her. I just wanted to see her win. Look at the comments. They know what I wrote. I wrote tons of her music. 90% of her music, I wrote it since I've been around her. The only reason why I'm mentioning that is because you fabricated. You fabricated and you talked about my children. And I saved her life one time in music too. She was in a crisis. Papoose pen to the rescue. Anyway, so I'm writing the music. She needed somebody to book shows. I'm doing the contracts, booking the shows, setting the shows up. I'm coming to the show, I'm collecting the first end, I'm collecting the back end. Word is bond, I don't take one penny, y'all.
This man ain't right 90% of anything. Like, I wish he paid 90% of the... Probably wouldn't be here, but that's neither here nor there.
When Remy started talking about how she was paying for everything, Papoose clapped back hard, said he was the ghost behind 90% of her bars. Yep, he said he pinned those tracks, including the bangers like Conceited, and never got a writing credit. So in his mind, those royalty checks, they should have had his name on them.
When he realized that a regular nigga that can rap, but just not the way we do it. By the way, he makes $50,000 per battle, has about 5-6 battles a year, so he makes at least $250,000 a year. You understand? Great credit score. I never seen a person with a credit score like this in my life. Like the richest people that I've been around. But anyway, unlike some people who beg me to add their name to one of my properties and I have to lean on it because they don't pay their taxes. You was devastated that a regular nigga that used to work for sanitation, got a pension plan, got a 401k, that happens to rap, was able to overcome your manipulation, was able to treat me nice. Not just because the camera's on, not just because people are watching, but because he genuinely felt like that. Not because I was paying his bills, not because I was taking care of his kids. And none of that. None of that. And then after I created my Battle League, Chrome 23, I helped him make another Battle League that's popping. He signed himself to, he literally that day signed himself to Slit Your Wrist Records and dropped a single the same day.
And honestly, I believe him. I think he wrote Shut Her Too, and Nicki even hinted at that in No Frauds, but let's be real, Pap ain't just mad. Over music, he's still in his feelings for Remy. On top of that, he feels like he poured his heart, time, and money into her. He gives off that energy of a man who needs to be somebody's hero. He chases the broken girls, the ones who never felt safe or loved. And when he shows them attention, they fold, they spoil him. Finance him, do everything. And that works for him. That's how he thrives. But I think Remy got tired of playing that role. She wanted something else, and now she's over here with Eazy The Block Captain, and Papoose is saying she's low-key holding him down too. But Remy came to her man's defense real quick, especially about his credit.
But y'all know how it is with these people. They could do mad shit to you all day, every day, year after year, decade after decade. But the second you do something to them, the second you say, I'm done, I'm finished, all hell breaks loose. The moment that he knew his job at TuneCore was solidified via that over there, Play With Me. That's why he was mad that I never posted it, because he doesn't get a check from TuneCore. He was getting a percentage of the subscriptions, and he wanted me to post to my 11 million followers to subscribe to TuneCore. And I told him, tell the TuneCore to post it on page.
And honestly, I believe Remy. On this one, I think Eazy has been a major thorn in Papoose' ego, because he feels like that man helped ruin their marriage, and their brand. They went from being the poster kids of black love to something else entirely. But Remy said, nah, her and Pap were already seeing other people. The trust had already been broken. Papoose said she stepped out, but Remy said he did too.
You refuse to tell people, hey, me and Rem haven't even slept in the same bed since May 2022. You don't want to tell nobody that. You were so wrapped up in the whole black love thing. That was your thing. That was the only thing you had. Because the original plan was like, you know what? You do what you want to do. I do what I want to do. We said we was going to raise our daughter a certain way, you know, and we going to figure out how to live in the same house and whatever. But then, it felt like they could control what I do, but do whatever they want to do. What niggas tried to do when it came to my event and make us insane. If y'all really look back, this didn't come from me.
You're such a liar. There was no agreement. When I found out you was with the lame, you denied it. You just basically said, yo, why would I be with him? Why do you think I would be with him? And then you wanted to go to therapy. So check it out now. Check it out. So when we go to therapy, me and her both said we want to work it out. I never wanted to leave from under the roof of my baby. That's why I stayed around for this nonsense. And the therapist told her, Remy, since you're saying that it's only business with this dude moving forward, but y'all have a last event coming up, after this event, you're going to cut all ties with this individual. Long story short, she kept cheating with the lane. Okay, move forward from that. Another event is coming up later on down the line. I found out the lane was dead. I said, she gotta be kidding me. I done told you, and you bring them to the event. I've caught her cheating numerous times since she been home. She's staying out on days my daughter got to go to school. My daughter's calling, she's not answering the phone. I'm calling, she's not answering when she with this lame. Then she's with this lame for days at a time. It's like crackhead behavior. I'm like, yo, something is wrong. Are they using drugs or something? Like, what's going on with her and this lame?
Not Papoose cheating on his queen all throughout the marriage. It's all smoke and mirrors, y'all. I'm telling you, they were both putting on for the public. They claimed they were staying together for their daughter. And I believe that, but eventually it hit that point where they just weren't together anymore, however. Papoose claimed that he and Remy had an understanding to work on their marriage, so that's why he was really upset when she moved on to Eazy. He thought maybe their relationship could be saved, and honestly, I feel like Remy might have stuck around if he had handled more of the bills.
Through this entire ordeal of her cheating with this lame, I started to notice that he had something on her, and I felt like he was blackmailing her. I'm gonna play the recording right now. This is the lane.
Yeah, wrong. So far, she's saying she fuck with me. I believe her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with that. But you're right, though. Anything can happen. So that shit will be 3 months. I don't know for how long it is. I got pictures, the texts, the videos of her. That shit's gonna blow whatever I say is gonna go. I'm talking about. I'm saying that news of cheating and all of that shit go anytime. It don't matter if it's a week or whatever. Like, the only reason why it's sparking is because you corny shit.
You just heard this lame, who she was dealing with since 2022, say in his own voice, I got videos and pictures of us. That's gonna go whenever I say so. One of the reasons why she's so angry at me is because she says, all of this is my fault. Y'all ready for this? Because I knocked him out. She said if I would have never knocked him out, she would have been stopped talking to him. She said the fact that I knocked him out, she had to keep talking to him because she didn't want him to expose things. But I want y'all to hear this. Listen to this. name, babe, bro?
You didn't give a you care.
That is not true.
Talking to this nigga.
I would have been stopped talking with this nigga. So she's mad at me because I knocked him out. So she's telling me that I knocked him out. I put her in a position where she still had to be cool with him. But she tell y'all on live, oh, he's this, oh yeah, a man that treat me right, a man that did this and did that. You just said the other day you don't even deal with this lame no more. I just played her saying that she would have been done with him if I would have knocked him out. Guess what, y'all? He's still gonna deal with her because he's a bum. The league is hers, it's not his. She threatens him anytime he get mad. Oh, I'm taking take it down. You sleeping with this girl, take it up. I got all of that document.
Papoose also said he would have stayed if Remy hadn't stepped out with Eazy. Papoose even accused Eazy of pressuring Remy to stay with him. Oh, Papoose is petty. He's petty for recording those messages, but at least he was exposing the real Eazy. Was out here trying to manipulate Remy. That's wild. And Tasha K kind of spilled the tea that Eazy, the so-called block captain, was sliding into another woman's DMs while seeing Remy allegedly. This all went down back in November, so it's old news, but if it's true, it definitely paints him as a cheater, so it's pointless for Remy to act like Eazy is so much better than Papoose. To me, they're cut from the same cloth. In fact, they even look alike. It's hard to tell them apart. Remy and Eazy seem to be going strong, though they're out and about looking all happy. But that's just the surface. We don't know what's really happening behind closed doors. Remy knows how to put on a show. She did it with Papoose, so she could be doing the same with Eazy just to get under Papoose's skin. And I think Papoose is using his relationship with Clarissa just to annoy Remy. These two are pure drama. That's why I keep saying, Clarissa, girl, run for your life. They've been dragging each other on social media all day. Papoose throwing shade at Remy's man, and Remy clapping back, saying Papoose pawned her jewelry for cash. There were so many accusations flying around, but it got way messier. When the family got pulled into the chaos, it's clear both of them are trying to make the other look bad, because the more they paint each other as the villain, the less they got to own up. Plus, they want to play the victim so the public feels sorry for them. But honestly, they both did dirt in this marriage, and they'll keep throwing shade just to dodge the truth.
I'm with my daughter all the time. I don't just pick her up once a month, if that, and then run to social media and post it to make it seem like I'm the parent of the year. I've seen my daughter more than 3 times this year. He has a son. He acts like he doesn't have a son. He has a son. We have a son who is very much alive and well and probably feels slighted sometimes.
It hurts me that I gotta even say this about you, that I gotta even come on this live and do this. But the fact that you tried to mention my children, the fact that you had the audacity to come on here and say, I haven't seen my daughter, when you didn't allow me to see my daughter. You had the audacity to send me a text and tell me not to come to my child's party. Why did you do that? Because I moved on, and I wasn't sitting in the house watching my daughter while you run around with this lame, come home to me and say you wasn't with him. You sit here and you want to mention my son. Okay. First and foremost, I love all my kids the same. Anybody who knows me knows that. She tried to go out here and exploit my son, and somebody told me, she said, oh, if he keep talking, I'm gonna go on live with his son or whatever. What? You are the one who have malicious things to say about other people's kids. And I don't even want to bring my stepson in it because I know his situation is very serious, and I love him. And I love my son the same. I love both of them. But I love my stepson like he my real son because I raised him. Even right now, the situation that he's in, I went to visit him. You didn't even visit him. You waited till I visit him, then you went to visit him. But I love my son, I love my stepson, I love all my kids, I love my daughters, all the same. Like I said, as your kids get older, sometimes y'all have differences, because as a parent, certain things you want for them, certain things they want for themselves. But that doesn't change the love. Love all my kids the same. You want to pretend like you got any type of love for my son? You don't got no love for nobody in my family. You never showed no love for, you had animosity and hatred towards everybody, especially other women. You are a very unhappy individual.
She won't let me see my daughter. She won't let me see my daughter. I ain't never been to to keep a man away from his kid? Are you talking about the times when you wanted to take her over to your mother's house? And I told you, don't be having my daughter around. One of your adopted sisters, knowingly, y'all all know about it over there, touching on kids. And that's why she ain't never been over there. That's why she don't know them. And you agreed with it when we were together. Hence why my daughter ain't never really go over there like that. By the way, my stepson called me. Want me to put him on my live? I'll put him on my live and let him go. I'll let him go. Mr. Great Dad, Mr. Great Husband. I will add him to my live and let him go on you. Call me, he told me thank you. I felt bad after because I didn't even realize that, like, oh, I could have just possibly put him in and said thank you. Thank you, Remy. You weirdo.
But you came on here and you mentioned my kids. Then you went back on there and tried to act like you exploited my son, like it's something I'm ashamed of. So when she called me the other day, tried to get back with me yesterday, and I declined because she was so mad about Clarissa, so angry because I finally moved on. She see us living out